Okay, who wants the rest of my coffee?
Hey, David, can you get him to give us the other assignments?
What?
Can you get him to give us the other assignment?
The other assignments that he has?
Yeah.
Mr. Ivy, can you get the other assignments that you have? Let's see them. Where do I need to go?
Hold on, I'm trying to, okay. All right, it's live.
Okay.
Looks good. This looks good.
This came with an extra tire. It was like a perfect straight line, but like that.
Oh, it doesn't. My pad has to
Yeah, I
No, no, yeah, don't do that.
What side? Yeah, my pad has to
I'm thinking about the time.
Where's Evelyn?
Next week. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, put in my binder. And then can I help with that?
Oh, so you showed up for this project. But back in those-
Where's the other one? I put it in this one.
I don't know, I just remembered.
Where's the other binder?
Am I good? I got this. So we have three and
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, yeah, I completely forgot to put my ID all day.
Especially when you stay.
All right.
Dr. David.
Oh, crap. This is Dr. David.
Yeah.
The question is, how does the game
I'm kind of happy with our one picture. I'm gonna lie.
Wait, how do you
Yeah, that's
He
one
needs
page
some
time.
writing for you.
By the way,
as much as you can.
Oh, man.
Okay, I said
The word in Afghanistan.
if you love me.
Mentally and emotionally. Where's this bill? What is this? Giselle, where does that go? Okay. Put it over my stuff. Can we go ahead and put our stuff? Oh, yes. All right. I'm putting my stuff.
If you have me fourth period, please go ahead and move your stuff to Coach Gibson's class at this time.
It's ours.
I don't know.
Every judge has been
You
provided.
in the end. Ask yourself, is this the end? Ask yourself, is it okay? If the answer is no, it's not the end.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Can you hear me? I've got 4 messages from my husband. Oh, good. Starts with I love you.
It could be either.
Oh, I love you. You're not going to find this funny at all, but I can't hold it in. Just sing a song to yourself.
Hello. 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 Hola. Hello. Hello. Could you hear me? I was talking.
Yes, it's on a delay.
This tells us coming, so we at least have 2 judges so far.
It's on a delay.
How much is the delay?
Maybe 30 to 45 seconds.
I knew there was a chance Dr. Davis wasn't going to be here, but she's got to be involved in those juniors that have to go to summer intervention for STAR. So.
They can, just FYI, they can hear everything right now.
I know.
Okay, just
I said there may be a chance.
didn't want to.
Here I am. I was in the library.
Your
Prairie goes. Oh yeah. Okay. For some reason I thought we were in there. I had on my calendar. I thought I had on my calendar library, but anyway. Yeah. Lauren was like, "Are you here for Ivy's class?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "They're upstairs in his room." I go, "Oh, okay."
Kelly, if you sit there, you will be doing creativity and innovation. Whoever sits here will just be doing presentation, and that seat's doing presentation. So I'm
So
just
it's
letting
first
you
come,
know,
first served?
Yeah, whatever you want.
I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Well, for this period, I'm doing presentation, and then 6th period, we will switch. So,
Oh, okay.
6th period, you'll be doing presentation, I'll be doing creativity.
How do you turn off the sleep timer on this?
A sleep.
Is it in appearance and personalization?
It is in screensaver. Screensaver display. Change display settings.
And it's live streaming, so everything we're saying they can hear over there.
Right now?
Yes, currently. Oh, yeah, by the way.
Why do they hear us? I thought we were listening to
This
them.
is broadcasting in here. They're going to be in here talking, and they're going to be watching in there.
Okay.
Hang on a minute.
All right. So what I've given each one of you.
They can hear
They hear
Yeah,
everything we're saying right now. Next door, so just
Yeah.
wait.
So, okay.
That's important.
All right. So everybody in their binder, and these binders will be being added to as we go along. Some of them haven't gotten all their printouts in yet. Okay. Everybody has a presentation rubric. As much as you can, if you would please, collaborate with each other when y'all are filling that out. I gave you a roles sheet just so you could see what the responsibilities were for everybody. Each person has a specific part of the presentation, so everybody has to talk. The one person who's not going to talk by the time we get to the Q&A section is the curriculum director. So they are responsible for all questions at the end. Okay, they're going to have 9 minutes to present a summary analysis of their book, their activities, how they link them to the SEs, and why they chose those particular activities, and then go over their Togo style assessment, why they chose those selections for their assessment, why they chose those SEs. And then you can ask the person, the curriculum director, the questions. Inside each one of your binders, you've been given the selection. These are in order they will be presented in. You'll have 2 presentations today. So this is all of their handouts. No group as of yet is going to do a PowerPoint today. So everybody is going to be presenting based off of a binder that they have that's similar. So you're going to hear from Candide and Kite Runner today. So they'll be referring to stuff that is in their packet. Once the group has walked out, I will mute that. So then that way you can discuss freely during the course of this.
Okay. Can we mark on?
Yes,
these?
ma'am. You are more than welcome to mark on them and so forth. That's why everybody has their own copy. Now,
Or y'all can just hit mute on this too.
yeah, that might be easier. What I would like for you to do is to be also looking at this one. This is the creativity and innovation rubric, and just seeing how they are putting all of that together and so forth, as creativity and so forth. While y'all are grading off of these rubrics, I will be in there grading off of an SC specific rubric that has all the SCs that they were meant to hit on this. Ms. Daly has agreed to be our timekeeper. She is not to tell them how much time or if they've gone over anything. She's just writing down the time on her rubric sheet at the end, and you can just write on the top of your sheet what the novel is for distinguishment, so you don't have to worry about writing down people's names or anything like that.
So do I do the creativity and presentation?
I would just concentrate on the creativity, and then Ms. James and Ms. Daly can concentrate on the presentation one, and then during 6th period, she'll worry about the creativity and innovation, and you two can worry about the presentation rubric. Okay.
Do you want our names on this? Like for the kids?
Just like turns off in 2 hours.
If you want. And if you want to add comments on it at the end, that's fine. And I guess just when you're ready for the next group, just wave your hand in front of the camera.
Okay.
And
Remember, there's a delay, so.
yeah, so there'll be, but just let me know. We can go from there.
If you want,
And I'm also going to give you fair warning, Miss Daly and Miss Martinez know this. When the bell rings at the end of class, you're going to feel like you're sitting right next to the Liberty Bell. It is very loud. So don't get spooked.
Okay, so that mutes.
yeah, and you can also turn that off too, but to mute it, you can mute it because it's using this microphone.
So can I just mute it there?
What is it?
Yes. You're so smart.
If we do that all together at the end, is that?
Oh, we do this part all together?
That's
Well-
what we muted and did.
You do your final collaboration.
Yeah.
My name is Mason Choppa, and I believe, the comprehension. I'm comprehension. I'm bringing you the summary and analysis of the novel Candy. So, in the beginning of the book, Candy is a boy that is living inside the mansion of the Baron. Now, great life. He's given all he's wanted. Then he screws up. He falls in love with the Baron's daughter, gets kicked out. So he has the riches, now he goes to the rags. So it's opposite, rags to riches. So going along, he's poor. He meets his old professor Pangloss. Now Pangloss tells him a story that the Bulgarians have destroyed the place, killed the girl he loved, killed the Baron, put everyone in. So after he finds this out, he's devastated. So they keep on going. They keep going. So he's staying optimistic about it. Then Pangloss dies. Ah, he sucks. He's mad about it. Then once that happens, he's devastated about it as well. So an old woman takes him in, takes care of him, and then he finally sees Cunegonde. Cunegonde is his lover. So he sees Cunegonde and he's happy. She tells him the story of what happened. She was raped. Her father was killed. All this. So during this, one of her lovers walks in, and I guess you could say he was jealous. So he goes, kills him. He's on the floor. Then another lover walks in, which I don't know what she's doing. She has too many lovers. So he kills that. So they leave, but she's not able to leave. She doesn't want to leave. So Candy leaves, and he picks up a new follower, Combo. So they go around. He goes to El Dorado, richest city. He gets a fortune. So he sends Cacambo off to find Cunegonde, and he needs a new partner. So he picks up Martin. Now, with Martin's not very often. He sees the negative everything. Well, I guess you could say that's why they're a match. They go the good because opposites attract. Yeah. So they go with Martin. Basically, they just find everyone else. That's how the book ends. They just find everyone else and they live together. Miserably, though. Now, symbolism is shown greatly throughout the book. I see it in Paris when Candy is in Paris. He becomes very ill, but in England, he's very healthy. And I believe this is because Voltaire dislikes Paris, because this is before the French Revolution. So there was a lack of trust. Because let's go to the food, for example. You couldn't tell if food was good or if it was bad for you. So it's just he couldn't trust the French. So he favored England. Now we're moving on to a motive. So you can see it when he kills her lovers. He is jealous. He hates it, but it had to be done. Now, I believe theme is money leads to corruption. So people with a lot of money are corrupted. I can't think of an example right now, but they just become so he acquires a fortune in El Dorado, but he isn't happy with it. He doesn't like having all that money. And so he doesn't like it because he can't solve his problems. He can't find Cunegonde, he can't do anything. So he's an unhappy, wealthy man. And not only does having a lot of money bring him down, a lot of people want to be his friends just because of his money. So he just can't handle it. Oh.
So the first thing is the reading calendar for the book, and the first class is going to take 7 days. It doesn't matter what day you start; it just takes 7 days to read the book, and each chapter it'll be labeled on there. And then the next week you will go discussing it, and you will do Venn diagrams, and you will do the candidate protagonist, which is this. This is candidate protagonist. It's basically you find symbolism in the clothes, labeling it like if the heart, how is he like loving towards Cunegonde. So you just find symbolism and you label it on the part of the body, which is clothes. And for the graphic organizer, first, what I see, you will do it before you read the chapter, and then you're going to fill in the rest. And this will just help the students like get more organized about the book that they're doing, and they're going to know more about the book because they're going to be filling in what they predict and basically.
Okay, and we have some more assignments they can do. see, you can start with the quote mix and match. Basically, it's just finding who said what within the book, and it can help with writing SAQs and see whose side people are on, their points of views. See, you can also characterize them with what they say. And then there's also the Venn diagram. It can help with illusion. It explores biblical meanings and connects different ideas together. So all you really do here is just find out what's similar between the two and what different.
I'm the assessment coordinator, so I need the assessment. And the first selection is chapter 20. We thought chapter 20 was a good match because it shows Candide and Martin on the Lord in their passage to South America. And the two figures were set 5A, 7A, and figure 19B. And the deeps are not in order in the chapters that are spread across the whole selection. The second selection we used chapter 30. I thought that chapter 30 was a good selection to take a test over because it shows a theming what that is cultivate our garden. Some people are confused on what that means. And I think that let's cultivate our garden symbolizes the Garden of Eden. And outside the world of Eden is all bad, and inside it just live happily. The first selection has 4 questions. It's over how who's the most pessimistic person in chapter 20, and how paragraph is so important to chapter, and how this threat is the secret. On chapter 30 has 8 questions. It contains what the last sentence of the novel is. Let us cultivate our garden, and it has what in there it has what the great evils are and how who we are. And chapter 5, which was important, moving laws symbolized in chapter 3. And the form
And then there's also an answer key on your for the movies. Those questions just so that way, you don't have to, figure out the answers. You can just teach the students based off that with worksheets. Any questions?
What were the essays that were covered?
It was
5A, 19.
5A, 7A, and 19B.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Great job, by the way. I see your chapter 20 and your chapter 30 exam here. I'm just wondering how you would assess if the student has mastered what you would expect them to know from the whole novel study.
What do you mean by that? Like, how would we show that they've mastered it?
Yes, like as a teacher, how would you know that they they know what I need them to know from this book?
Well, with this book, I feel like there's really a lot of symbolism to know, and I feel like there's also a lot of lessons such as being optimistic, and I feel like the way you can learn that is in here. There's a question that's
Adrian, I think what she means is, are you just gonna have them test over those 2 chapters, or are you gonna have them test over every chapter?
on our calendar. We have I think most of these assignments are also just testing over other chapters outside of 20 and 30, and we can use the assignments to get chapters. Like, for example, with the Venn diagram, you can use every chapter to really find a difference between the two and a similarity between the two. And then the quote mix and match, there's quotes from most of the chapters. There's the first one's from chapter 11. There's chapter 3, 8, 4, 5. There's all sorts of chapters in there for the quote mix and match. And then graphic organizer, we'd be doing that for every chapter before before we read it, or before each day. So we'd be doing it for about 3 chapters. So that would cover just about every chapter too.
So would you say like your activities like the quote mix and match and the Venn diagram and the graphic organizers, do those help the students with their overall comprehension of the story, or do they relate directly to the SEs that they'll be tested on later?
They can relate to the SEs and also help them with the overall comprehension of it because 7A is for allegory, symbolism, illusion, stuff like that. Venn diagram is over the illusions. We have, we're going to look at symbolism also. And the protagonist, there's a symbolism in it. And then I wouldn't say there's much allegory in this book, or I would say there is, and you can cover that also, but I think we just showed not to cover that. And then 19B, the using textual evidence to support the complex inferences that you're making, using our textual evidence to support how these people are the way they are. I mean, the old woman is, very negative because of what's happened to her. And then quote 4, that is King Gonde that where the best of all worlds now. We see that at one point Candide is not optimistic because he doesn't see the best of all worlds. And then later in chapter 30, we see that he becomes optimistic again. And then 5A is to look at the different scenes of the story and see how they contribute all to the whole thing. And I think that this really relates to all of those, just because you're taking all these different things and seeing how they all come together is more interesting. So.
And then I just wanted to ask, out of curiosity, what was the process that you guys used to create the questions and answer choices?
We just used the teats, the 5A, 7A, 9A. We just used those to make the questions, and then the answers. We just thought of things that would also kind of show these people, so it's not just giving the answer. Like there's number 9. What does pain symbolize in chapter 30? Optimism, leadership, honesty, or happiness. He symbolizes all of these things throughout the book, but in chapter 30 specifically, he shows his optimism when he's talking about, and had you not lost all these sheep which you had brought from the country of El Dorado, you would not have been here to eat marmalade and pistachio nuts in chapter 5 of chapter 30, or in paragraph 5 of chapter 30, and that shows his, optimism. So right there, that would be your answer there. And then there's the same thing for the other ones, for 5A and 7A.
If I was looking at this as a potential purchase as a teacher for my curriculum, I would be interested in knowing how you would suggest that I teach this different from like an on-level course versus a pre-AP course, or for maybe lower level students. So could you just pick one of those and give me an example?
For on-level, I would go the same pace, but these chapters are pretty short. I mean, if you look at it, these chapters are short. There's 30 chapters, and you're reading about 5 per day. So then these chapters altogether are pretty short. Depending on your class time, probably about anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, you would have a lot more time to talk. With those on-level students, I would talk more with them. And with those pre-AP students, I would ask them more questions, try to get them to make the inferences. But with the on-level, I would also ask questions, but just make them, more simpler and kind of bring them down to that, to the level of where they can slowly but surely understand it where you need to be. Any other questions?
Thank you, guys.
Very good. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
know it's so fun.
Oh.
Amir has to try and bring him back to America with him, which was real. Anyway, the two symbols that I chose from the book that I thought were the pretty big ones were the brass knuckles. And the brass knuckles, Acid, the schoolyard bully, he carries around with him, and they represent fear and submission upon his victims, so to speak. And then with the blue kite, that represents pride and sacrifice. Sacrifice being towards Hassan, because in chapter 7, Hassan was evidently raped. And then pride because Amir, he felt too much pride to go and help his best friend at the time. And with all that said, we have some assignments created, and we have Stephanie Pena and Alyssa Aguilar to present those.
This was my assignment. And some of the activities that we have come up with is a map of Afghanistan, for the Olympic proposal, and to make a kite, a cause and effect, and a location. So first, we made a calendar, and it takes a week to read 8 chapters, and the 2 more weeks to finish the whole book. And then some of the calendar, some of the are good. And when are they due? Okay, the first activity is the mapping Afghanistan. This will help students be able to know where the setting took place in the book, and some of the things that they should label are where the towns are and villages, and they should add a key so they can know where everything's at. And it would also help them about the social, political, or religious, demographic, or regional boundaries. The next one is to make a kite. Okay, making your own kite. Well, first you need tools to make a kite, and then the reflection is to make students have a chance to own their kite, and do draw and make them have how do they have experience in flying a kite. And since the book Amir and Hassan they're both main characters, they will since they in their childhood over there in Afghanistan, they do kites. And so students will be able to make connection how to fly a kite. The next activity is conflict. Cosmic effects is where students are going to be able to make a cosmic effect chart, which can be accompanied by textual evidence. And this, they will add chapter and pages where they can see what the cause and the effect are throughout the book. And then the last one is one pager. It's what? One pager. This activity will help students. Well, basically, you have to do 3 to 5 words that describe the book, and then significant quotations where, they know what does it mean, and they can include a personal statement and meaningful questions and visual images where they can know what the book is about. And here's an example of the pages that I would read. Now it's right.
Hi, I'm Melissa Eshion, and I'm going to be introducing and explaining the last 4 activities. The first one is character analysis, The second one was explication essay. Third one, compare and contrast, and fourth one was thinking. The character analysis. Sorry. You're going to be writing about a character and including their morals and beliefs, and events and actions to suggest morals, consequences and results of their actions, and who it affected. And you're going to be doing that for each character throughout the book. And then the second one is explication essay. You're going to write a literary analysis essay using the SIF method. The acronym stands for symbolism, imagery, figurative language, and tone and theme. The prompt is, throughout literature, the idea of battle over fate versus free will is a variable that is constantly present. How is a truth illustrated in the Kite Runner? Use various pieces of text evidence to prove your analysis. The essay will be in Times New Roman, 12-point font, left aligned, and double space. The third assignment is a compare and contrast. The readers are going to be creating a Venn diagram for each topic, which the 4 topics are education, career, courtship, and adoption. They should compare and contrast, your own modern beliefs to the beliefs of those in Afghanistan. Also, make sure to include textual evidence. And then the last one is an SAQ. We decided to assign an SAQ, which is a short answer question. We decided to do an SAQ because it helps ensure that our readers understand the novel and requires them to understand the text on a deeper level, which forces the reader to think beyond the text. Short answer questions generally require the reader to interpret the purpose of the text and assess the reader's understanding of the text. The prompt we had was how does the brutal game, which is a poem we should have in there, how it relates to Amir and the Kite Runner, and we're expecting the students to explain how the poem represents Amir and how the Afghanistan war affected him mentally and emotionally. And now we're going to go to Evelyn.
My name's Evelyn, and I'm talking about, well, I'm the assessment person, so I'm going to talk about the chapters we chose. We just click through to the chapters. Well, we chose chapter 7 and chapter 22. We mainly chose this 2 because we believe it was we created more emotional. It's more emotional build up to the characters, and it created the novel more, let's say, it just created more distance and stuff. And the second assessment, we chose it because we think it creates emotional ties with the characters. The first one is about the rape that happens in the story. We chose that one because it creates, I think, it's more of the climax because of the effect and that it has him for the rest of his life, and other characters because they can't get quite over themselves and they're not forgiven. And the second one was about Asif and being shot by Asif. We did 6 questions for each. We think they're both very important to the novel, and we just want the readers to be more, so they can visualize more of the emotional effects that it was creating in the novel.
Hello, I'm Giselle Garcia, and I'm the curriculum director of my group. I help them come up with the activities, I help them with the calendar, just the activities that they were assigned by our teacher. And I'm here to answer any questions you guys have.
So as the curriculum director, of all the activities that you guys have planned, which two would you think are the highest level, would require the highest level of thinking by the students?
The ones that require the highest level of thinking by the students would have to be the character analysis and the compare and contrast with the students' modern beliefs and the beliefs of those in Afghanistan, because they have to think outside of the classroom. With the character, okay, with the compare and contrast, they have to think about those in Afghanistan, their beliefs, have to study their beliefs, their religion, everything, to get to what they have to get like aspects of what they think of their education, career, courtship, and adoption compared to their beliefs in those schools. And the character analysis can have to infer throughout the book about their morals and the feelings of those characters.
I have a question about the character analysis. I love the way it's set up. I'm just wondering, would each square represent each individual action of a character? So you could essentially have multiple squares for the same character, or would a character be written in, the square, and then you would track that character all the way through the.
Each square would represent like multiple.
So one
characters,
scene,
yes.
okay.
I have a question. I may have just missed this in the beginning. What were the essays that y'all were targeting for these activities?
The SE.
Or
The text or the.
We chose figure 19B. We chose figure 19B, 7A and 5A for our assessment and to help us come up with questions to ask along with this.
Can you explain why you chose those?
7A, this novel that Khaled Hosseini wrote is mostly an illusion. It has many illusions through it, so we chose 7A to explain the function of the illusion. And 5A, it helps us analyze isolated scenes. Like we chose one scene, we analyzed that. We chose another scene, we analyzed that. And it gave us more of an instinct on what was happening through the novel. And we thought it would help other readers that were reading the book also have those conclusions. And
19B.
19B. We for like our SAQs and our cause and effects, we chose those to have figure 19B as a model, so they can know how to infer using textual evidence and not just, oh, I think I read this, but like look at a book and make sure they're reading what they're actually reading. Because some people say they read something and then they're not actually grasping the concept of it. So we chose figure 19B, so we get textual evidence and have it in there.
I noticed there were some supplemental activities in here, it seems like some essay questions and prompts. Did I miss that explanation, or?
No, we chose those essays so they can have more of a deeper understanding of what's going on through the novel. It's just like if we were to write those essays, we would have to. The readers don't have to infer to those essays, the essay questions and the essay topics, because they're essay topics that get the reader thinking of what's actually happening in the novel and not what they think. Because what Khaled Hosseini did was he wrote something, but it had a much deeper meaning than what it actually had in the text. So the reader had to infer, and that's what these essay topics do for the reader.
And what's the Odyssey? That one is in there.
Yes, that is an illusion that is brought up in the kite runner. So we thought it would be a good idea to have the readers make connections to the Odyssey and kite runner.
Where is the timeline for the beginning? Yeah.
I never found the calendar.
Yeah, it's okay.
What's that?
This one here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for the.
Well, I have a copy of our calendar here. It's documented.
That just got in the wrong spot.
So when you guys were making the compare and contrast for the Venn diagram, how did you choose those topics of education, career, courtship, and adoption?
These are topics that came up throughout the novel. Amir was always, he was brought up by Baba, which is his father, and he always made sure he had a good education. And whenever it came time for Amir to choose a career, Baba never wanted him to choose something that would fit into our world. He always wanted something that would fit into the Afghanistan world. Their point of view, although they were in America. And in courtship, it's really different. I thought it was interesting how they can't go out in public by themselves. They have to have a parent watching them. So I think that's different from how we date here. Not that I did or anything like that. It's how it is here in America. But then compared to that in Afghanistan. And adoption, Amir had to adopt his nephew, which is Sarab, Hassan's son. And he had a difficult time processing the adoption. Unlike here in America, it requires a lot of paperwork. Just in Afghanistan, it's not deemed proper to adopt. So we come up with those topics.
Great. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Coordinating the class.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, do y'all want your calendar? So that you can look at it?